Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The act of participating in an athletic competition involving running on a track. The act of running, traveling on foot at a fast pace. American football. A play in which a player attempts to carry the ball through or past the opposing team. The coach put great emphasis on running. A VG, a machine, performing or capable of performing. In running, or working, order. Measured lengthwise. Cost of lumber per running foot. Continually repeated over a period of time. A running joke among us. Of advancing the ball by running. The team's running plays worked better than its pass plays. Of fluids, moving or issuing in a stream. As mountain stream with freely running water. The act of administering or being in charge of something. He has responsibility for the running of two companies at the same time. The state of being in operation. A running engine. Executed or initiated by running. Running plays worked better than pass plays. Any road or path affording passage, especially a rough one. Computer science. One of the circular magnetic paths on a magnetic disk that serve as a guide for writing and reading data. Travel across or pass over. Go after with the intent to catch. The act of participating in an athletic competition involving running on a track. An endless metal belt on which tracked vehicles move over the ground. A course over which races are run. Evidence pointing to a possible solution. A distinct selection of music from a recording or a compact disc. The title track of the album. A line or route along which something travels or moves. The track of an animal. A bar or pair of parallel bars of rolled steel making the railway along which railroad cars or other vehicles can roll. A groove on a phonograph recording. A pair of parallel rails providing a runway for wheels. Carry on the feet and deposit. Track mud into the house. Make tracks upon. Observe or plot the moving path of something. Track a missile. A small stream. Have a particular form. The story or argument runs as follows. Perform as expected when applied. Does this old car still run well? Compete in a race. He is running the marathon this year. Become undone. A row of unraveled stitches. She got a run in her stocking. A score in baseball made by a runner touching all four bases safely. The Yankees scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th. Run, stand, or compete for an office or a position. Who's running for treasurer this year? Come unraveled or undone as if by snagging. Her nylons were running. Direct or control, projects, businesses, etc. She is running a relief operation in the Sudan. Extend or continue for a certain period of time. The film runs 5 hours. A race between candidates for elective office. He is raising money for a Senate run. Include as the content, broadcast or publicize. pass over, across, or through. The act of testing something. Travel a route regularly. Carry out a process or program, as on a computer or a machine. Run a new program on the Mac. Flee. Take to one's heels, cut and run. If you see this man, run. Cause something to pass or lead somewhere. Have a tendency or disposition to do or be something, be inclined. These dresses run small. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. Service runs all the way to Cranberry. The act of running, traveling on foot at a fast pace. He broke into a run. Cause to emit recorded audio or video. Keep company. The heifers run with the bulls to produce offspring. Change or be different within limits. Interest rates run from 5 to 10%. Deal in illegally, such as arms or liquor. Continue to exist. A race run on foot. She broke the record for the half-mile run. An unbroken series of events. Nicholas had a run of birdies. Reduce or cause to be reduced from a solid to a liquid state, usually by heating. The pouring forth of a fluid. American football. A play in which a player attempts to carry the ball through or past the opposing team. The defensive line braced to stop the run. Be diffused. These dyes and colors are guaranteed not to run. Move along, of liquids. Progress by being changed. Run through your presentation before the meeting. Pursue for food or sport, as of wild animals. The dogs are running deer. An unbroken chronological sequence. The play had a long run on Broadway. A regular trip. The ship made its run in record time. A short trip. Take a run into town. Be affected by, be subjected to. Run at temperature. Be operating, running or functioning. The car is still running, turn it off. Carry out. Run an errand. Cause an animal to move fast. Run the dogs. Cause to perform. Run a subject. Change from one state to another. Run amok. Cover by running. Run a certain distance. Make without a miss. Move about freely and without restraint, or act as if running around in an uncontrolled way. Who are these people running around in the building? Move fast by using one's feet, with one foot off the ground at any given time. Don't run, you'll be out of breath. Occur persistently. Musical talent runs in the family. Run with the ball, in such sports as football. Sail before the wind. Set animals loose to graze. The continuous period of time during which something, a machine or a factory, operates or continues in operation. The assembly line was on a 12-hour run. The production achieved during a continuous period of operation, of a machine or factory, etc. A daily run of 100,000 gallons of paint. travel rapidly, by any, unspecified, means. She always runs to Italy, because she has a lover there. Unrestricted freedom to use. He has the run of the house. American football. A play in which a player attempts to carry the ball through or past the opposing team. American football. A play in which a player attempts to carry the ball through or past the opposing team. Fit or ready for use or service. The toaster was still functional even after being dropped. A VG, a machine, performing or capable of performing. A functional set of brakes. Designed for or adapted to a function or use. Functional education selects knowledge that is concrete and usable rather than abstract and theoretical. Designed for or capable of a particular function or use. A style of writing in which every word is functional. Involving or affecting function rather than physiology. Functional deafness. Relating to or based on function, especially as opposed to structure. The problem now is not a constitutional one, it is a functional one. A person secretly employed in espionage for a government. Relating to or requiring or amenable to treatment by surgery, especially as opposed to medicine. Operative dentistry. Someone who can be employed as a detective to collect information. A VG, a machine, performing or capable of performing. Being in force or having or exerting force. Operative regulations. Effective, producing a desired effect. The operative word. Actively engaged in paid work. The working population. A mine or quarry that is being or has been worked. A VG, a machine, performing or capable of performing. In running, or working, order. Adequate for practical use, especially sufficient in strength or numbers to accomplish something. The party has a working majority in the House. Adopted as a temporary basis for further work. A working draft. Serving to permit or facilitate further work or activity. Discussed the working draft of a peace treaty. Designating or involving an equation whose terms are of the first degree. Of or in or along or relating to a line, involving or having a single dimension. A linear measurement. Of a leaf shape, long and narrow. Of a circuit or device having an output that is proportional to the input. Linear amplifier. Measured lengthwise. Process or manner of functioning or operating. Performing or able to perform its regular function. A functioning flashlight. In the direction of the length. Running or extending in the direction of the length of a thing. In the direction of the length. He cut the paper lengthwise. Running or extending in the direction of the length of a thing. The lengthwise dimension. Having no interruptions. Continual is often used interchangeably with continuous. Recurring regularly or frequently in a prolonged and closely spaced series. The continual banging of the shutters. Propelled violently in a usually narrow stream. Uttered with unrestrained enthusiasm. Extravagantly demonstrative. A large gushing female. Flowing profusely. A gushing hydrant. Propelled violently in a usually narrow stream. Flowing profusely. Pouring flood waters. Propelled violently in a usually narrow stream. Propelled violently in a usually narrow stream. Participating in athletic sports performed on a running track or on the field associated with it. The power or ability to move. Self-propelled movement. Change location. Move, travel, or proceed, also metaphorically. We traveled from Rome to Naples by bus. Travel upon or across. Travel the oceans. Undertake a journey or trip. A movement through space that changes the location of something. Self-propelled movement. Make a trip for pleasure. The act of going from one place to another. He enjoyed selling but he hated the travel. Travel from place to place, as for the purpose of finding work, preaching, or acting as a judge. Undergo transportation as in a vehicle. We traveled north on Route 508. American football, a play by the offensive team. A method of tending to or managing the affairs of some group of people, especially the group's business affairs. A kitchen appliance for disposing of garbage. The act or means of getting rid of something. The power to use something or someone. Used all the resources at his disposal. The persons, or committees or departments etc., who make up a body for the purpose of administering something. He claims that the present administration is corrupt. The act of meting out justice according to the law. The act of governing, exercising authority. The tenure of a president. Things were quiet during the Eisenhower administration. A method of tending to or managing the affairs of some group of people, especially the group's business affairs. The act of administering medication. Activity by a military or naval force, as a maneuver or campaign. It was a joint operation of the Navy and Air Force. A process or series of acts especially of a practical or mechanical nature involved in a particular form of work. The operations in building a house. Mathematics, calculation by mathematical methods. They were learning the basic operations of arithmetic. A medical procedure involving an incision with instruments, performed to repair damage or arrest disease in a living body. They will schedule the operation as soon as an operating room is available. Process or manner of functioning or operating. The power of its engine determines its operation. Psychology, the performance of some composite cognitive activity, an operation that affects mental contents. The cognitive operation of remembering. A business, especially one run on a large scale. A large-scale farming operation. A planned activity involving many people performing various actions. They organized a rescue operation. Computer science, data processing in which the result is completely specified by a rule, especially the processing that results from a single instruction. It can perform millions of operations per second. The activity of operating something, a machine or business etc. Her smooth operation of the vehicle gave us a surprisingly comfortable ride. The state of being in effect or being operative. That rule is no longer in operation. A quick run. Run very fast, usually for a short distance. The longer of the two telegraphic signals used in Morse code. The act of moving with great haste. He made a dash for the door. Run or move very quickly or hastily. She dashed into the yard. Distinctive and stylish elegance. He wooed her with the confident dash of a cavalry officer. A punctuation mark, used between parts of a compound word or between the syllables of a word when the word is divided at the end of a line of text. Break into pieces, as by striking or knocking over. Hurl or thrust violently. He dashed the plate against the wall. Cause to lose courage. Dashed by the refusal. A quick run. Add an enlivening or altering element to. Blue paint dashed with white. A footrace run at top speed. He is preparing for the 100-yard dash. Destroy or break. Dashed ambitions and hopes. A sudden forceful flow. The act of moving hurriedly and in a careless manner. Physician and American Revolutionary leader. Signer of the Declaration of Independence, 1745 to 1813. Urge to an unnatural speed. Don't rush me, please. Cause to move fast or to rush or race. Move hurriedly. He rushed down the hall to receive his guests. Not accepting reservations. American football, an attempt to advance the ball by running into the line. The linebackers were ready to stop a rush. Done under pressure. A rush job. Cause to occur rapidly. Act or move at high speed. We have to rush. The swift release of a store of effective force. He got a quick rush from injecting heroin. A sudden burst of activity. Come back after the rush. Attack suddenly. Grass-like plants growing in wet places and having cylindrical, often hollow stems. Run with the ball, in football. American football. The quarterback moves back as if to pass and then hands the ball to the fullback who is running toward the line of scrimmage. American football, an attempt to advance the ball by running around the end of the line.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.